Today's the day. Got this SCX6 that I guess I broke the radio or something. I don't know. Using a 8.4 volt BEC on it, and that seems to have caused some problems. The receiver just won't boot up anymore. So it's time for some work. I want to get this thing running again. So follow along as I try to rewire this a little nicer than it was. Let me know in the comments if you have an SCX6. I'm still undecided on them. I think they can be fun, but they're just so big and heavy. I don't like working on it. I don't like bringing it places. I do like these sand rails though. Never really even looked at this thing. It's got a neat little retention clip. I mean, it's a nice scale touch, I guess, but I'm never gonna pull out my sand rails or whatever those are called to get myself unstuck. All right, so we got a mishmash of parts. I've taken the stock stuff out for the most part. I guess I should just go ahead and pull this radio out. There we go. Interesting. I might want this. I'll set it aside. Yeah, there's our stock radio, the SR515. I do wonder if 8.4 volts was too high for it, but Spectrum tends to be fine with 8.4 volts. At any rate, it died. I need a new radio that'll work with a 2-speed, and I just got the Radio Master MT12. Well, just got it, you know, like a month or two ago at this point. So it is time to get this thing working, hopefully. This may take a little bit of effort. I do find it kind of nice that the stock ESC just bolts down. We'll find out if it's a plate or if it's molded into the case. We definitely need all of that screw length to hold an ESC. Now, as you can probably notice, stock motor's not in there. And what motor is that? It's the motor I designed. And why am I not offering it for sale yet? Because I can't find an ESC that runs happy on it. I tried the 80 amp from Rhino, and I mean, it ran, but when you let off the throttle, a motor of this size has a lot of back EMF, and it freaked it the F out, like big time. The entire rig shut down, turns back on. The only thing that I could do to make it run properly was to run an external BEC alongside it, and that seems a little excessive just for the radio, because a Castle BEC is much better with voltage transients than pretty much any other one on the market. So yeah, we're working on an ESC for this. All right, where am I gonna put this? In the trash, I guess? I don't know. Throw it into a box. I have torn up lots of the lights. Let's see, here's our shift servo. Here's probably more lights. Yeah, more lights. I don't really care about the lights. We've got all kinds of like extra plugs and stuff. Yeah, I don't really care about them right now. But I don't want to just take all this stuff off and forget about it. So, I wonder how good the lights are up to. Like 7.4, 8.4. The world may never know. All right, so I should probably put a 4-channel receiver in this. I'm thinking. 3 channels would be enough, but if I have any special features on this unnamed ESC that we're developing, I want a 4-channel. So I should probably just go ahead and bind a 4-channel to it. I could steal one from another rig that we've already bound to, or I could find the box with the 4-channel that I want. Using the Radio Master MT12, we shall be using the Radio Master ER4. It's a little laydown 4-channel receiver. And I think it'll work perfect. So I believe we already did a video about setting up for a third channel as far as having, you know, controllability on whatever it was. Shifting, 2-speed. Yeah, we already did a video on that. That we did. So I won't bore you with the details of setting that up. I will just set it up for this. All right, 1 to turn, 2 to burn. There's our steering. I'm getting fingerprints all over this. It's not going to stick very well with all my greasy fingerprints. All right, then this here is going to be our shifting servo. I'll put that on channel 3. And then I've got this ESC hooked up. We'll just use this for testing. This little ESC is not going to be happy otherwise, and we'll have to turn that around to reach. It's fine. It's fine. This will just get us going. I'm not too worried about it. Oh, and well, later on at least, we will need to tap our BEC in otherwise. Okay, so what I did on the BEC, we obviously have our direct power port. It's I got this little GST coming off the ESC. I need to power the BEC with it, and I also need to power our direct power servo from Reefs RC. So what I did is we've got these little Medusa 3-way things here. I soldered one hard onto the Castle BEC, so this is now our port for the Castle BEC, and we have more power coming off of it, which should be good enough for the servo. I guess we'll find out. So this will plug into here. This plugs into here. Yeah, this is going to take a lot of wiring cleanup. I think I just want to get it working today, and then we'll go further. The reason why I'm not using the internal BEC on this ProMaster V3 is that it freaks out on this shifting servo. It just goes dead. Let's see, do I need this? Nope, into the pile. Therefore, we got to have an external BEC. I tried an even more powerful ESC's internal BEC, and it was also getting browned out. So I don't know, maybe this servo is really amp hungry or something. I'm not really sure why this is required of me today, but it is. We tried. It's required. I'm gonna flip this around so everything finds a way. There we go. And the teeniest, tiniest little ESC that maybe I will blow it up. And if I remember correctly, is this the one where we've got trim center? Yeah, trim center. Okay, I'm going to try this other model and see. No, okay, so I have not set my endpoints on here. I'm going to need to set endpoints for sure.
Maximum trim reached. Trim center. Trim center.
Yeah, I'll need to take that off of trim and have it just be a shifter. Yeah, I'll deal with this later. So right now it's still trim, but if we go back to our screen that shows us this, we've got it going back and forth between two extremes. So we've already done our mixing in our programming. So there we go. The next thing we'll need to do is we need to get our endpoints. So we are on 3, edit. There we go. It's not actually changing our trims, as you can see. Yeah, I like the noise at least. Cool. All right, we're on the screen. Now it's time to boot it up. Get our radio attached. So we need to get this into bind mode. Oh, it's already in bind mode. Look at there, double blink, double blink. I'm gonna return. Bind. Oop, that worked. There we go. Let's see, does this work? That does work indeed. There we go. Now, ooh, yeah, you can see that that's really struggling right there. So our minimum, let's see. Look at all that backlash. All right. So the question will be, how much throw do we need to get this properly engaging? Need to look at what I'm doing here. Okay, that's not enough. We'll go until it basically won't go any further. About 78. Cool. This is always something you got to do. Ooh. Okay, now we're going to go to the other side. Max. And we're going to reduce this until it's not bending everything. There we go. Whew. So probably about right in here. Okay, that is max at 0. I mean, I guess that would make sense.
Trim center.
Okay, that seems like first gear. It's gonna get out. Yep, there we go. It popped. And it engaged. Okay. Go a little further. Nope, that's max. I think we're good. Cool. All right, so now we seem to have a functioning 2-speed. We will pop this body down and I'm gonna shift. There we go. There's first gear. Second gear, I think. Other way around. Now we're in second gear. Cool.
Trim center.
Sweet. One step closer. How hot's that teeny little ESC? It's pretty warm, as you can see. The wires coming off of this motor are incredibly thick compared to just the size of that. But we are going backwards, so what I'm going to do is swap 2 wires. We've got teeny little 4mm bullets on this big old motor. Really not doing it justice. And then how's our steering? All right, our steering also needs to be changed, but I think, yeah,
Trim center.
all the way. There we go. I think now we are functioning. Boom. So, I didn't clean up the wires at all like I said that I was, because now it is at least functioning. We've got a radio that works. We've got ourselves a servo that works, multiple servos that work. And now I just need to wait on a new ESC and we'll be good. But in the meantime, I could throw a Crawlmaster V2 on this and it'll overheat here and there because it is a pretty tiny ESC for this big honking motor. I mean, compared to the stock motor. You can see the diameter difference. Let's see, there we go. It's much larger diameter. It has a lot of active motor inside and it will hold this rig in one spot as well, which is super nice. So there we go. If you got any questions about things, leave them down below. But in the meantime, I just needed a little bit of time to wrench and get this thing somewhat running again. Yeah, I'll probably switch that out. Maybe put a fan on the ESC. I could print a case with a little fan on it and that would get us going. So yeah, one step closer. Oh, drive this again one day.
Telemetry lab.
There we go. We're good. As always, thanks for tuning in. Have a great day. Have you had any issues with your SCX6? How's it running? And do you love it as much as I do? Comment down below. Congratulations, your toilet viewing was successful. Hopefully you're done pooping by now, and if you're not, you should probably wrap it up. If there are any other topics you would like us to cover, leave your comments down below and make sure you're subscribed to the channel as well.